Okay, the first thing I need to say is when I started racing, I always dreamed about having this opportunity to be in here under different circumstances. Hasn't panned out that way, but I'm doing okay, about as well as can be expected. Definitely sore and battling some things this week. It's obviously been a very long week for me and my family, but I'm thankful to be here, and certainly. Very thankful for the safety initiatives and everything NASCAR's put on display over the years. Certainly firsthand experience. Very grateful for that, and I would like to just say thank you to everyone. I know there's been a lot of calls and concerns about my health and well-being last week, and certainly a lot of outpouring of support from the fans and from some of the peers in the sport, some of the competitors. But most importantly, I'd like to say thank you to NASCAR, the NASCAR Medical Liaison Team, Talladega Superspeedway, and UAB. Just a lot of care there, a lot of professionalism. Certainly helped me through the process, and I'll forever be grateful for that.
Well, thank you very much, Eric, and we'll take a few questions here. And raise your hand if you could. Limit yourself to one question, okay? Start here with Ed. We could get him the mic, and we'll go to Lee, and then back to Bob.
Ed Hinton, ESPN.com. Eric, do you have any recollection of the crash and the hit? Do you remember what happened?
Ed, I remember bits and pieces of everything. It's certainly spotty at times after the impact. I just remember being really excited. We were in a good position. I felt like I had an opportunity for our first top 10, and we were just in a pack there, and saw the smoke ahead of me, went to hit the brake pedal, and the brakes were not there. And at that point, I just remember getting hit by someone and going towards the wall. And at that point, I just braced for impact, and that's really all I remember until after the accident.
Just a real quick follow. Have you ever raced without a Hans device or head restraint?
No, not even in late models.
Let's go to Lee, and then we'll go to Bob.
Lee Spencer, Fox Sports.
Off to your left here, Eric.
From what we understand, you had injuries to your arm and your leg. Was there, anything else that occurred? And how soon would you like to get back into a race car?
Well, there were a lot of speculation about what the injuries were. I'm not familiar with the communication process there. Just battling, the largest things we battled was the internal bruising, which is still quite painful, and then the concussion. As far as getting back in the race car, we're following the process that NASCAR has in place, and it's a very thorough process and a good process, and we're consulting with the doctors on that, and once they feel that I'm cleared to get back in the race car and then I'm ready to get back in the car, I look forward to doing that. But we're definitely preparing the best we can to do that as soon as possible.
Let's go to Bob Pockris, back in the middle there in the back, Eric.
Bob Pockris, Sporting News. Eric, do you know how your injuries happened? Did your head hit anything? Did anything hit your body to cause the internal bruising?
I'm not sure. I'm probably not the right one to ask. It's probably speculation at this point. Honestly, I remember just before the accident, and then I remember pieces of the safety workers there. They did an excellent job getting me out of the car, and I remember bits and pieces of that, and then I remember the helicopter ride, and I don't have a lot of recollection of what happened there, so I would be. It probably wouldn't be accurate if I speculated on that.
Who has the next question? Right here, Thomas, to your right, Eric.
Eric, Thomas Pope from the Fayetteville Observer. Did you ask the safety people, or even on a helicopter ride to UAB, am I okay? I mean, what's wrong with me?
Obviously I'm a human being. That's a very good question. It was all new to me, the surroundings. I wasn't familiar with anything that was going on, so once I was at the point where I was able to communicate regularly, if I heard them say something I didn't understand, I would try to get a clarification or something in layman's terms that helped me. But I remember being really scared of the helicopter because I don't like to fly, and it was just a lot of talking. It helped me feel better, and just waiting to hear what they had to say and what their plans were. But definitely if I didn't ask a specific question or talk to them or try to be funny just to make myself feel better, they weren't paying a whole lot of attention to what I was saying. You know, they were making a plan, and you know, I'm thankful for that too.
Jenna, right here on the front row, Eric, and then Nate.
Hi, Eric. Jenna Fryer with the AP. How old are your girls? And I think you've got 4. Is that right?
I do.
Yeah. And what's this been like with your family? You've got a really young family. I imagine it's been a little trying for your wife.
It has. I have 4 daughters. The oldest one is 5, and you know, I was able to see them Saturday night, and you know, I'd be lying if I said it didn't affect our oldest daughter just a little bit. Fortunately, they didn't see the accident. They were at the track, but they did not see it live. So I think there was a lot of unknowns, you know, in the interim right after that for them. You know, it's you know, fortunately my wife is a nurse, so she's had experience with things like this. Obviously not with us, but you know, I hate. You know, I hate for them to go through anything like that. But I will say I'll keep most of that private. But you know, there were some times with the family when everything died down and we were in a hospital that you know, that made me understand how loved I was by them, and you know, made me very thankful I had a family like that. But you know, this week it's been good. Our 3-year-old, she's tried to doctor me several times. She's brought little stethoscopes in and said she was going to make my heart better and you know, try to rub the bruises and things like that. So they've been really sweet, and I think they're doing okay with it. And you know, I've really enjoyed our time together with them this week.
And how old's your youngest?
We have a 5-year-old, 3-year-old, 21 months, and 8 weeks.
Nate?
Nate Ryan, USA Today. Eric, you said that when you went to hit the brake pedal, the brakes weren't there. What happened there? Did the brakes did you lose the brakes during the accident, or did you just discover it then that suddenly you didn't have the ability to stop? And also, if you could also address, NASCAR sometimes looks at these accidents later. Have you talked to them at all about black box data or anything like that?
Yeah, you know, we've communicated a little bit about that. You know, with the things I've had to do medically this week and just being in the hospital, I haven't communicated, you know, for the entire data or everything that had happened. I do have, you know, some idea of the impact and things like that. You know, it was a really high number, and you know, it's pretty awesome, except for the fact that we had to go through all of that. But yeah, I had no idea the brakes were out. We had them the whole race right there on the green-white checkered on the restart. It was a slow start. Everyone bunched up, and I remember having brakes because you were dragging the brake a little bit to try to, you know, bump someone or stay in line or get a good start and not lose too much time. So the next time I hit the brakes was when I saw the smoke, and they just weren't there. So it's a little bit of a heart-sinking feeling right there, and you know, obviously that created the impression that I was speeding up or going faster than everyone when I hit, which obviously I was, and I'm just glad it wasn't worse.
Let's go Bob, and then we'll go back to Lee. Go ahead, Bob.
Does this make you question? Did you ever question at all whether you wanted to race again?
Sure.
So did you ever question in the last week whether you should or want to race again?
No. You know, I love to race. You know, sometimes I question how good I am at it sometimes, but you know, never had a doubt that I wanted to do it again. Obviously, when you're in a situation like that and things are happening fast and you've just been through something like that, you know, you're a human being, and you know, thousands of things run through your head. But you know, as far as questioning my desire to do this, I don't. I look forward to going through the process NASCAR's laid out, you know, getting the right clearance when it's time to come back, and at this point when they do that, I look forward to doing it and racing again and trying to get better.
Lee, off to the left, Eric.
Lee Spencer, Fox Sports. In the wake of everything that the NFL is going through this week with Junior Seau and you know, the reports on the concussions and everything else, what can you say? You know, what kind of light can you spread on the safety precautions that NASCAR has taken over the last 10 years, you know, so you could inevitably go to race another day?
Well, I think you can't put into words the advancements that NASCAR has made in safety. You know, I love football. I study the NFL and college football, and I think the concussion reports are apples to oranges based on the nature of our sport, and you generally don't hear a lot of stories or reports of concussions in our sport, and I think that's a testament to NASCAR and what they've done. We're all fans of NASCAR. We all grew up watching it, wanting to be a part of it, and I think we're guilty sometimes of trying to be critical of NASCAR as a whole sometimes and point out things that we don't always agree with. And I was a skeptic of the new car and everything they did. Never questioned the safety and the safer barrier, but I was always one that hey, they need to worry about this instead of this. But experiencing it firsthand, I think the initiatives that they've put in place is very good, and I think a lot of people don't understand how proactive NASCAR has been. We know all about the media and the racing and the venues and everything, but what we don't always see, and I was guilty of not paying attention to it, is what they're doing behind the scenes to stay ahead of the curve on all the safety and things like that. And I experienced it firsthand, and all I can speak from is my experience in NASCAR, and it's been amazing what they've done, and I'm thankful they did it.